Morning, friends. Good afternoon to some people. Now we're back on the table. I would just like to cover some charts in further detail for tomorrow. Tory is working at £8 an hour at the moment.
Currently on slave labour.
He's doing pretty well with his video editing and his little coffee.
Little coffee.
So what we're looking at on the charts then. So USD CAD, I mentioned on the earlier live that we're looking to do a new leg to the upside, and this thing is blowing out. Look at that. Blowing out. USD CAD's blowing out, guys. I kind of wish I held. But shoulda, woulda, coulda isn't going to get you anywhere. What I can say though right now is, let me just see some of the comments over here. We made it to top live again. Hello everybody. So if I just flick this around, look at this pinpoint accuracy of where euros hit. I've had this level on for quite some time now. What do I expect from euro dollar? 1.15009 current market price is that we can now come to the downside and reach our 1.1450 target. In this case right here, I would simply wait. We got 6 minutes left on the hourly candle. It is displaying short. Again, there are many other things I do actually spot and other thought processes that are going through my mind at the moment on the euro at this specific point. But the stop loss in this case, if you were to go ahead and short euro now, should be relatively tight, anywhere in between 10 to 20 pips above the most recent liquidity spike, which is this one here. As this has come into this region, blatantly we can see, going back in time, you don't even have to go back in time too far, that euro has reacted and rejected that level. So what we're looking at now is one more leg to the downside, and you see this little zone right here. You see this little zone of, we could maybe say consolidation, whatever you want to call it. Price is exhausted. Price needs to pull back. We can tell by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candlesticks. The wicks have spiked into this region, which it made a low. Price consolidated through Asia, respected the low once more. In this scenario right here, it was respecting the previous day's low, and then we broke out of the consolidation region. We pulled back to retest it as support. Prior resistance broken, support. And then boom, we blasted up a good 60 odd pips, 50, 60 pips, and now we're going to come back down. So I always like to, what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's too late. We've been doing too much shit over here, but
Very stressful.
it's such a stressful day. Basically, I like to emphasize, emphasize the attention that you must put on to the fine details, fine detailing. My chart right now, it looks appealing to me. I actually want to open it. I actually want to get involved. I actually know all of the levels. I actually know the consolidation. I can clearly tell what's happening on a higher time frame from experience. I don't need to go from system to system to indicator to indicator and so on. The fine details, what people do not often do, which is it's so basic, it's crazy, is actually sit at their computer and zoom in. Get yourself a mouse and zoom into the chart. Look at, is the market exhausted? Is the market continuing a leg, bearish or bullish? Is the market getting ready to reverse? Do we have news coming out in one day or maybe the next few days? Do we have to consider that? If there is news out, let's say we've got non-farm payroll, We've got non-farm payroll tomorrow. We had a little bit of an erratic pullback today on the euro, but however, we've reacted to a level. We've created once more a new lower swing high, and it has to now fulfill a new bearish leg, and so does gold. I'm going to get to gold in a moment. If you have real experience with price action, real experience, and you actually have an open mind to how the economy works and so forth. I was mentioning these points last week, but we have many new viewers who will see that a lot of the fundamentals and a lot of the high volatility news often pushes the price in the same direction of the overall market bias and the overall market trend if it's actually displaying to us various key factors that it's actually following a trend, which Euro is. Euro is swinging to the downside, and the market is so very, very well timed and so very, very well manipulated, maneuvered, controlled, whatever you want to, however you want to say that. But now I think Euro's done its thing for today. It showed us a nice rejection. It's playing nicely, ready for tomorrow. Ready for tomorrow's drop. If it doesn't drop tomorrow and break 1.1450, then I need to really reevaluate this chart. If I look at gold, there's so many IML comments. The last live was the IML finalization.
Fuck 'em.
From me, okay?
Not from me though.
And I'm not going to continue talking about them. They're getting free promotion. Anyway. So, right here, guys, what do you see? Gold was consolidating, and it needs to find its purpose, so to speak now. Similar to what I have to do on a daily basis. We've got this little trend line here in which I don't really use trend lines too much anymore, but what we can actually see, I'm not going to draw it on, but I know in my head I can see, just by looking at the numbers, we have a clear fib rejection. Now this area of consolidation in which gold was trapped in earlier on, we broke to the upside, we spiked through, but we actually made a lower swing high in comparison to what was made the other day. Now gold in 23 seconds exactly. Okay. Oh my God, someone's actually got an Instagram called Shaun Lee's daughter-in-law. Wow. Weird. What we can actually see now is a spike, boom, gold popped off, it's fulfilled orders, both buys, both sells. We can now see the candle, the price has now closed back below the top of this box, which also coincides with my little resistance line there. So now what we're looking at on gold is a fucking meltdown. Okay, this is a brilliant time to sell gold right now. Disclaimers, disclaimers, disclaimers. If gold lines up with your analysis, your thought processes, and so forth, gold is looking now, it just literally bang on, it's 5 p.m. back in England. It's actually just fulfilled a 5 p.m. closure that it is actually going south. Now, I'm personally now going to sell gold. This is going to be my last trade of the week. My first trade was GJ, my second trade was USD CAD. I left Euro, it was great, I didn't want to break the rules there. I left that to you guys to capitalize from. And now gold, I'm going to hit it short. Stop loss placement. Right, stop loss placement here, it's so easy. It's like, listen, look at this spike, zoom in, focus on the fine detail. That's 1206. We just want it, a little bit above that. 15, 20 pips. Boom, boom, boom. If gold miraculously pulls back and breaches that level, I'm sorry, but it's taken out this structure over here. So we want to keep it short, we want to keep it tight, and so on. Risk reward on this one, I think gold. I should never really say I think, but looking at the chart, if we do break this trend line, this entire box here, this big green box, the big green box is something that I've had drawn on the chart for 2 weeks. I've had it drawn on the chart for 2 weeks. That symbolizes a daily consolidation region. So even though the market is, putting in 100 pips, 150 downside, ultimately overall, on a long-term perspective, on a higher perspective, gold is actually ranging on the day. So even though it's ranging on the higher time frames, we can actually still make money from it, okay? On a smaller time frame, we can still make money from it on a smaller time frame because, again, it's providing so many opportunities. And if we just zoom in and actually align ourselves with what's going on, the opportunity is there. Opportunity is always there, not just in the market, but in just in life. It's all about how you view it, your perspective on it. So my perspective on gold on a daily time frame is it's going sideways, but throughout all the sideways notions, we can actually buy, sell. Now it's providing me. There's not one thing in accordance to my analysis and that tell. Guys, sorry. Where was I? Yeah, gold. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to move on from gold. What we can do is we can look at USD CAD, and we can see that the dollar strength is now advancing. Dollar strength, if I look at this on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that the gap, see the gap here? The gap has now been fulfilled. The gap has now been fulfilled from last week. Okay, the gap has now been fulfilled from last week. If we do manage to break this zone, we are going up to 1.2970. 1.2970. Aussie dollar, we are looking at lowers on Aussie dollar, and again that kind of comes through with the potential. There's going to be potential dollar strength tomorrow. I don't really look to trade news, but if there's an opportunity where the risk reward makes sense, I'm going to take it. Now, number one, if I've already made profit for the week and we have a risky event, but again the technicals are painting a nice clear picture, the risk reward makes sense, just lower the lot size a little bit. Lower the lot size. Right now, because I'm fulfilling the element 13 process and growing a small account to a large account and taking my time to actually journal it, live, documenting it, I'm not trading for money. I'm not trading for money. I'm still spending money from July, actually, and I'm like not even 10% the way through it yet. So that always helps if you do have a little bit of backup. In my case, it's a situation where, because I'm trying to perform this to broaden people's perspective and broaden people's minds on what can actually be achieved in the market, it's not out of desperation. You don't need to trade out of desperation or for a need. So all it is a case of skill set and being comfortable and being grateful for the analysis, number one, coming through, and just looking at it as like an art form. Looking at it as like an art form overall. So we have many gold isn't pulling back. I'm just reading some of these comments at the moment. Take profit on gold. Well, what I expect gold to actually come down to and into is 1185. 1185, which is around 116 pips away from the current market price. 116 pips away from the current market price, but it has just now. Let me show you one thing. Looking at this right here, can you see this madness? So if we actually look at the bodies are important as well as the spikes. There's two factors that I would look for. I would look at where the spike has reached. Do we have a level in which we could put together for that rejection? And I also look at these bodies. I like to, whoops, my bad. If we can look at, okay, the body here where the wick has been and the top body. If I go ahead and change the color, what I can actually see here is that we broke out of this region. We struggled to hold the highs. I can see the body here at the previous body open, the wick in which has came down, and even the previous wick, it's actually rejected that small zone. So that small zone right there, if we zoomed in and, you know, appreciate the fine details, I'll get back to that in a second, but if we look at the highs, if I just really modify that and bring it tightly in, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 spikes, 4 spikes on the back end of this bearish body right here, yeah? And we have this whole rejection zone. So even though we've just popped out of this bigger zone, the larger zone, we have also, again, I'm just keeping it fucking easy. This is nothing. This is just things that you should be looking for, just to add to your arsenal of value and arsenal of trading tools. Then what we actually have is this big red candle breaking through the previous area. And again, it takes some practice and takes some time to actually spot. I could go back on every single candle. I can mark out every single price action zone going back, because it just takes practice. What we're actually likely to see now is this candle here. We broke the zone with red. We're going to pull back, retest the zone, and then actually fall back. Ultimately, we're going to break the trend line, and then maybe we're going to actually break this lower end zone there as well. So, you know, fine details, guys, fine details will mark up everything in the markets. Again, there's so many differentials that we can look at. A strategy, don't confuse a strategy with just simply plotting out price action and looking at. There isn't really ever one strategy, to be honest. It's all about how fast your mind can actually scoop up the information, put that information together, and execute. I want to just cover one thing on this Instagram live. Next week, is my last IG live. I'm going offline to focus. I did mention, so that's why I've got a little bit of time now. I've got my slave Tory right next to me. He's on slave labor hours today. Chairman 10. He hasn't yet stepped up to the plate of chairman. He hasn't even got past chairman 20 yet. But he's doing some great editing. I got 5 videos done, 5 introduction videos, trading related, psychology related, and so on. So yeah, one thing I just want to cover. Is execution of a trade. Now, gold, if we look at it in real time, again, if I was generous enough, and I'm tightening up ship, I'm no longer sharing profits, I'm no longer sharing entries, lot sizes, and so on. For you guys who've followed me for a while, you know I was always open to that. But now I'm closing myself off to it. I don't actually need to. I really just don't need to. I want to keep it private, because I want people to actually focus through the next project and the additional, you know, astro information that's coming out to everybody, to actually just focus on the skill and focus on the beauty of getting it right, rather than having these hopes and dreams of trading 100 lots times 2, 3, 4, and so on. Just get it right. So you can see now price has come back into this region. It's a little bit flaky at the moment, but we've broken a mini structure level after falsely breaking an hourly structure level. So now we're going to head down. So when it comes down to execution, it comes down to your risk appetite, and execution, not just in the markets, but execution in life. I had somebody comment on one of my photos today. So it was quite funny, because human psychology, I fucking love it. This year alone, and even from posting so much on Instagram and just getting feedback and seeing how people actually respond to you, how they view life, and let's say, for instance, today I posted a picture in one of the cars, and I'm renting this car. I'm renting any car you see me outside in the UK with, I'm renting it. Obviously, I'm not going to buy. I've got a better car at home. That's not the thing. It's just like, I want to go and I want to have fun. I want to enjoy. Probably won't do it again. I think Dubai's out my system fully, and utmost. I appreciate it's great, but I probably won't do it again. It can get a little bit boring. But I had a comment on one of my photos today saying, you're showing off a lifestyle to entice people to buy something. Even I'm not even really selling anything. Astro's been around for a while. Do you ever see me on any post say, go to Astro, join Astro? That process just happens naturally. And to be honest, Astro has very, very minimal students each month, to tell you the truth. It's nothing. If you want to look at it in monetary terms, it's actually pennies. It just keeps the business going, the materials flowing. It's not a primary source of income. And I looked at this guy's profile, and in his bio, it's like signal provider for, what was it, Zulu Trade or something? And I've replied to him, I'm like, okay, cool, but you're a signal provider, mate. And I didn't really have anything else to say. So it's always, 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 always great to actually get feedback. You can show somebody 20 fucking trades. And since I've come back from Thailand, I'm probably about 18, 19, even 20 trades deep now. And my win rate is between 70 to 80, depending on my focus and where I am. You can show somebody the profits, the lot sizes, the withdrawals, living life, executing your life without fear or judgment from anybody else. And somebody's always going to pop up and say that. So the moral of the story here is that when you get good at trading and when you start to make money on your own without anybody sitting, paying you each month or sitting beside you, there's nobody in this game that's actually going to sit there and say, hey, tap you on the back, oh, you know what, you can get over that loss. This is a full-blown man on an island deal. A deal with yourself. Absolute deal with yourself. And nobody's ever going to sit there. Some people might... No one's really got any good advice apart from just smash the workout. And once you start to smash the workout and actually be confident in what you're doing when it comes down to analyzing, executing without fear, that the biggest thing the market's taught me is to actually, because I'm quite a risky guy anyway, and aggression, I'm quite aggressive in the markets. It's actually taught me that, you know what, there's actually no value in listening to people who can't even execute things in life without either, number one, thinking of how another person's going to view them for doing a certain thing, or trying to enjoy life or trying to express their own freedom. And number two is to see the opportunity and fucking take it there and then. Like gold right now, aggressive after a few drinks, Dylan, that was back in the day. Gold right now, if you look at gold, I just said, what did I say? I said gold is going to retest the back end of this and it's going to fall. What are you going to be waiting for? Where is the confirmation? You have to get into the market, because once you're aggressive and you're not waiting for the perfect opportunity, you're going to have the best risk reward. So if you relate that in life, let's say you make $1 million in trading, even if it's over a few years. Majority of people will just go, they might lose that. I've been there many, many times. To me now, it's just like a game, to be honest. But I always know when to take out, when to keep some. And a lot of people don't actually have fun, yeah? They don't have fun after they've worked so hard in trading because they're scared to spend their fucking money. They don't like to go and spend, and gold is melting. They don't like to spend the money. They like to hoard their money because they think financial security is hoarding digits. The monetary system, number one, is in a very, very fragile state. The monetary system, number two, holds no security. If you were to save 50k a year and you have your savings, a lot of the advice is obviously passed over from an older generation who would come from mainly the industrial age, to be honest, not the digital age. And that was the old way of thinking. But the monetary system and the value of money has been cut down 80% in the last 30 years because the banks keep printing money. So what we're going to do, we're going to work our asses off in Forex. We're going to hoard some money and not have fun in life. I'm sorry if it comes across as like arrogant or whatever you want to fucking label it, that people actually want to have fun in life from the hard work, but take it from me. Once you trade and you know, okay, and many people on this live right now would have experienced this, you can put in so much effort. Let's say you turn 10k into 200k. Let's say it took you a year and a half. You know, one slip up, you can lose half of that money or all of that money in one trading session, or even 2 trading sessions. Once you've done that and once you've experienced that and you know that things can be taken away from you like this, you would have a different outlook on life when it comes down to actually enjoying yourself. Because when you have trading profits as a main income, think to yourself every day, out here in Dubai at the moment, we're just living it up because, again, we know I need to splurge the money, I need to get my aggression and maybe elements of greed out of my system. Why is everyone saying eyebrows? Dylan, what you started, you little fucker. Once you get that element of greed out of your system, instead of hoarding it all, you're less likely to want to trade out of greed or revenge or want more out of the market. Why? Because you're too busy enjoying your fucking life. You're too busy enjoying your life. And at the end of the day, if you use your brain and say, okay, why do I want to quit my 9 to 5? Because I'm not enjoying my life. Why do I want another career path? Because I'm not enjoying my life. I want more excitement. I want to travel the world. I want to do this, do that. But then they get into trading, start making money and start to hoard it. And they're not living their life. So it's all one of those ones. It's very trivial in a sense, and everybody's a different person. Whilst we talk, gold's falling and I'm in profit. Marvelous. Let's have a look at Euro too. Euro's about to take a little bit of a dive. Aussie, I'm not interested. USD CAD's breaking that resistance there. But we'll stick with gold for now. So, just turn that down, Tad. Sorry. So these people need to realize lessons. Yeah, these lessons come over time. I am like my own personal guinea pig. A lot of people around me, even family, they won't realize. Number one, only 3 to 5% make it in this field. They don't understand that you have to be emotionally switched off in a sense to actually make it through and not lead yourself into depression of having a bad, streak in the market and allowing the market to actually navigate where your emotions are for that day or for that week. And many of you guys can actually maybe relate to that. Your mood will dramatically fluctuate. And me, I've got a very volatile personality, but I've learned to use that volatility of myself to battle the volatility of the market. And I found the equilibrium. Against volatile movements. 1 minute seeing money, 1 minute money's gone. 1 minute spending money, 1 minute having fun. It's all relative. If you can't handle the percentage gains, the fluctuations of what the market is going to deliver to you, then you can't really handle a specific life. And that's why my life's just fast and my life's just crazy. It looks fast, but on the interior, I'm very, very slow. Not in the brain, sometimes I am. I'm very, very present every single day in the moment. Gold's melting right now. You're asking me about non-farm payroll. I showed you directly why we're going to be entering gold while I'm entering gold. The specifics to it, and gold is going to come down to 1185. Right now, I'm not even going to get excited. I'm just looking at it on TradingView. I'm not even going to pull up the app. I've got my MetaTrader here. I'm not going to look at that. I'm just going to allow it to run. If it does break, so moving stop losses, if it does break my hourly structure low, might come back for a retest. I'll then bring that stop down. Broke the structure, retest, bang, down to 1185. And then, to be honest, what will I do then? I will go back to London and then fucking knuckle down. One more point I would just like to express for everybody who's sending me hearts on this. I appreciate everyone's attention on this live. One thing I would like to also express is that let's talk about spending, and let's talk about spending in accordance to how confident you are in the market. So let's say you have 100 trades and you're very, very confident and you have a high hit rate. You can control yourself, you can control your emotions. Sometimes it might just click, and one day you're like, holy shit, I've been through so much trauma and so much pain that nothing can really affect me anymore. Someone just says, oh, how often you meditate? So basically, in my life, I was in such a fucking high discipline state for probably about 3-4 years. Certain things happen and events change in my life where I kind of went off the rails and became a little bit more savage. But that was all relative. And in the last 2 weeks, when I hit Maldives, there was a voice inside my head saying, start to meditate again. Just so I can organize thoughts, I can organize things I need to do. I can just have further clarity on, especially with this project. And I'm 2 weeks deep now. I do 45 minutes in the morning, and at night I probably do the same until I just drift off. And to be honest, I've seen a huge difference in mental clarity perform. But the main thing is just like the presence you get. So when you're present, you wake up in the morning, you do whatever you need to do. I recommend like 25 minutes of exercise, and then once your fresh shower change, because obviously your blood's running and stuff like that, your endorphins are going, then go ahead and meditate, and then look at the charts. If it means you waking up 25 minutes earlier or an hour earlier to actually come onto the charts, then by all means, trust me, if you just try it for 2 weeks. At first it's hard because you're trying to flex a new muscle, which is your mind and your brain. And you might not be able to focus for a while, but it's just about consistency. In a few days, you'll snap into it. So doing that and then coming to the charts allows you to just look at the tab. So here I've got gold, I've got USD CAD, and I've got Aussie dollar. And I'll browse through, I'll flick through, and again, take the notive that the next trade is always going to be around the corner. So you then have the time to just think and just look for the best trade. So since I came back from Thailand, all I want to do now is really focus on the best, like 1 out of 4. If I have one trade running, like gold right now, it's a nice profit. I am, how many pips up? I'm about 25 pips up on gold at the moment. I'm not looking for another trade. So by meditating and by focusing and having that daily routine and that daily ritual in the morning will allow you to actually find, pick, select, whatever you want to call it, that best trade and that best setup to go with. Everyone has their own forms of meditation. Right now, for me, it's this beer. Is the beer while I chill and while we do some work over here and while we watch this go through. But yeah, there's so many different things you can do. And again, everybody's different. Everybody's different. So now if we just take a quick look. If we just take a quick look at gold, as you can see, the structural low in which I want gold now to break is going to be this zone. This zone right here. Once it's broken this zone and it's cleared straight through, and I get, let's say, a 30-minute or hourly closure, let's look at the hour, I will then consider moving my stop loss just past break even. Just past break even. And, Euro's like falling a little bit there too. So guys, if you look at the 4 hourly on gold, huge rejection. There's 33 minutes left. There's 33 minutes. Dylan, don't hate because you get 8 people on your IG live, son. I'll teach you how it's done, my boy. Anyway, we get this closure here. We get this closure, and then I've got that confirmation that gold can now break through. So just flicking, relaxed. You just have to stay relaxed, stay in rhythm, stay in synchronization with the market. It's not fucking difficult. It really isn't that difficult. I think what the difficult thing is people's scattered minds, scattered thoughts. They don't really have any plan or any ideology of what's going on. For instance, the element 13, I know that I'm running 2 accounts side by side from a small amount in my head. I know that I'm going to make 3 million from this, from my 2 trading accounts. So that's why I'm looking at the long-term bigger picture. I'm looking at a long-term goal. And that's just me. If it was you, say, you know what, for Christmas I want to do 30 trades, 40 trades. I want to get the majority of them right. I wouldn't even look at the monetary factor. Just continue, after every, let's say 7 out of 10 trades, just bump your lot size up a little bit in accordance to your account value. After that, you can look back and get that confidence, and then you can go from there and set yourself some challenges. I don't really know what else to say on this live, to be honest. I mean, looking at some of the comments. It's just that simple, guys. Chart work comes first, money management, psychology will come afterwards. And there's 782 people on this top live now. I'm not sure if they're all here because of trading, but I think a lot of people aren't actually ready to be more wealthier or even be free. I think everyone has their own karmic path that they need to discover, and they need to play out on their own life path as well. And one thing that will stop them or guide them on whichever path they're on is what's going on in their head. If you're not meant to make and be free from certain factors to make X amount of money from trading, maybe you can't for a few years, then maybe life may open up for you, and you just got to keep grinding and accept it. I think not everybody can come in using the same blueprint and be successful off the bat. Maybe not, I'm not too sure. I don't really know. I just know my own experience. So, I'm going to lock off now. If you can just give me some feedback. I'm not really reading anything either at the moment. I was reading the book I was posting last week. But it's really hard for me to get back into reading. I just prefer over reading now. I just like to do analysis of life and journaling, trades, emotional things that have happened in the market, out the market, what I have experienced travel-wise, what I've experienced looking after people-wise, responsibilities, where I'm going, and again, just being grateful for everything that comes along from the market. So back to it. Gold. I'm not going off Instagram forever. I'm probably going to go off for about 2 months. I've got an India trip lined up for November into December. Then I'm going to revisit Asia, because I know then, after I've worked so hard, it's going to be time to let off a little bit of steam. And again, the steam's going to be let off after 1 or 2 segments of this project is complete. And then come back to it and then continue to dominate my own trading and myself and so on. So, cool. Gold's falling. Right, guys, I'm going to leave you lot to it. I might check in tomorrow on a quick one just to see how this performs. Good luck. Gold, you missed the best risk reward setup. I highlighted it at the start of this video. It's already in profit. And one thing about vlogs, someone just mentioned, I just can't be asked to come onto YouTube and start editing certain things. I'd rather just do the IG live, where I can just click on a button, express thoughts and feelings within that moment, rather than spending so much time. And a lot of people who do vlogs about trading or manifestation and shit, they put so much effort into it and so much script work. It's just I can't be arsed, man. I'm looking at gold melting right now. Any other trades, trading comes first, maybe in the future. I'd rather do IG live and just connect directly with you lot. Anyway, I'm going to put a new post up. If you can just give me some feedback on this, and then we're going to see how gold comes through. Anyway, peace out, guys. Have a great night.